looking for eagles, but we found a blue heron.
Gorgeous.
Around with the campfire, day or night.
Hi, I'm Campfire Shelley. Once the course was set.
See you at the dock.
See you at the dock.
No, there's no reason for me to be up at 4 in the morning, other than at 60 years old, 4 in the morning seems to be part of the normal routine of life. We do have a number of tournament fishermen here this weekend. Since I'm up this early, I may as well go out and see how they're doing before they head to the lake. B52, my new favorite coffee. Morning.
Hey, morning. How's it going?
Pretty good. You guys getting ready to head out, huh?
Yeah, getting closer.
Yeah. What time does what do they call it? The launch? Is that what it is?
This one's different. So this one's a first cast kind of tournament. First cast is 6:30.
Oh, is that right? Okay. So it feels like it's going to be a little blustery out there. Is
Oh, I think today we're expecting better conditions than yesterday. I like the wind and clouds.
that right? Yeah.
So we're hoping, fingers crossed,
Yeah.
cooler. So I just put on the stocking cap, but hopefully
Well,
better.
it can't be worse than when you were here in January.
That's the truth. That was cold.
Yeah.
Chilly trip, but believe it or not, we've been in worse. That was
Was that right?
this January was pretty mild actually compared to years past. Shoot, that one year we were here, it was like 17 degrees for the high that day. Woo!
Wow. How'd you keep the reels from freezing?
You did it.
You know. So how many tournaments are going on out there today? I know there must be at least 2.
I think there's at least 4 going today.
4 of them. Huh?
I think. I'm gonna ask them.
Well, good luck out there, you guys.
Yeah.
Be safe. This is Jeremiah. He's fishing a kayak tournament this weekend, and I caught up with him yesterday while he was getting all of his gear ready to go. By the looks of his equipment, you can see that the kayak guys take their fishing every bit as seriously as the regular tournament guys do. Look around for an old resort, because really we weren't after a resort, we were after some cabins is what it was. We were going to build a family retreat. That's kind of what our decision was. And it seemed to be the most economical way to get a bunch of cabins was to find a little old mom and pop resort that was for sale. And we stumbled across one that was listed incorrectly, so it wasn't showing up on the commercial listings.
And I think the sign was even blown down, so
Yeah.
it didn't even have the sign. That's a real thing.
That's typical for
happened
us,
For
yeah.
us. It's happened more than once.
Yeah, no, that was in the late winter of 2010, but we ended up closing on it in early 2011. I
And
think
that
in
was
February.
that was just the 3 cabins and the other one on the side.
Yeah,
It wasn't this other one.
there was 4 of them all together,
Yeah.
and 3 small ones, and then one a little bit bigger, but still pretty small.
And guess what color they were?
They were blue.
Blue. Swimming pool blue.
Yeah. But I have to tell you that they were in really, really bad shape. One of them didn't even have a floor in it. It was, the floor had kind of rotted away in the kitchen and the bathroom area, and so when you went in, there was just bare dirt. You were looking at bare dirt on the floor in the kitchen and bathroom area. But that's what we do. I mean, we pulled our camper down there as soon as the weather turned off good enough. We bought it in February. It was really late March before we actually moved the camper down there and started working on the place. We planned on being there for the summer and fix up cabins and then go back home to Ozark.
And it was really quite fun because that's when the adventure totally began, because we have had, you know, a reason to have that camper down there. And so whenever we got tired, it's easy to go in that camper and take a nap or rest or whatever.
Yeah, and it was in a little resort town by the lake, and so it felt like a resort vacation experience the whole entire summer did. We moved down a truckload of tools, set them up in one of the cabins to start working. You can see in some of the pictures that we did a lot of work on these cabins. We did stone on the front of them, we did stucco finishes, we redid the entire interior of everything.
Because they were
New
nothing but cement blocks.
Yeah,
so we insulated all of them.
Yep. And really the whole intention was to create a place where our kids would be able to come home and spend some time with us and just spend some relaxing time around the lake. And so that really was the intention. It was nothing more than that. We had no business intention with that property at all. See, the nice thing about video is we didn't cut pieces of it out.
Okay. Cabin 1 was is that cabin?
Yeah,
one?
that was cabin 1.
Cabin, and so we ended up finding a place where we could get the cedar log siding, and we ended up stripping the cedar log siding and putting it up on the parts of the door and also on the cabinetry, which really made it pop.
Yeah.
And
It was sleek. The finish, I mean, it was a glossy, beautiful finish on it, but it was still rustic cedar wood slabs from a sawmill. And so it was a rustic elegance is what I guess you would call it.
Yeah, and you built the archway and that one counter so it would have a little bit more character.
Should we tell them why we built the archway?
Okay.
We built the archway to camouflage the saggy ceiling. And it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our younger daughter, Adrian, the minute she turned 18, she moved out. She had got married. They moved down to Branson, Missouri, which was maybe 30 miles from where we lived. And then shortly after that, probably within a year, they moved up to the Chicago area in Illinois. And then a few years later, down to Pompano Beach, Florida. So from the time she was 18, she was moved out. Mandy, she moved out literally a couple of weeks after that to
Yeah.
Springfield, then to Houston, Texas, I think LA for a little while.
She went to
then
Hawaii.
She lived in Hawaii.
She went to some other countries too.
Yeah, there's Tokyo, Japan in there, and then Paris, France. And it's easier to count the number of places that she hasn't been than the ones that she has been. And but she settled into Las Vegas, so she's a long ways away now. Caleb, our son, when he got to be, wasn't he 17 or 18 when he moved out? Moved in
No,
with his
he was, I think he was 18.
18 and moved in with some friends up in Springfield. And then, let's see. Anyway, he was around, but he was living his own life, and so kind of tough to see him too. So this was what was driving our decision to try to get a place for a retreat, a family property where they would want to come back and spend some time. But as it went, it never did really turn into that, did it?
No.
I mean, they've
They-
come around a couple of times for
Caleb-
Christmas one year, I think.
I think Caleb came down and had some of his friends down and they stayed in the cabin.
Yeah, and that was what it was for. It was for a family and friends purpose. Is really the only reason it was. There was no resort business in our mind at all. You know, well, what happened was, as they started looking really good again, instead of these old dilapidated cabins, people were driving in almost every day. Someone would drive in and ask if we had them for rent. And we said no for a couple of months, and then we started saying yes. And here's the crazy thing about that. Okay, this is part of what makes this experience so cool, is that they had a bunch of kids. I don't know, 4 kids, was it? 3 or 4 kids. That were all pretty small. I suppose the smallest one was maybe 5 or 6, I suppose. And they were none of them were teenagers yet, I don't believe. And they were there, and they were a family that did not take a lot of vacations, but they came from Kentucky, I think it was, or somewhere out there. And it was the only vacation I think that the kids had ever been on, and they bonded with us because we were there. And those kids, even to this day, will keep up with us on Facebook and ask how we're doing and all of that. We've never seen them since. I mean, we've kept up with them, but we've never seen them. They've never been back.
Right.
And but yet those kids, as they've grown into adults and started having kids of their own now, they have stayed up in close contact with us on Facebook. And if you have those kind of ambitions and dreams and wanting to do something different, you know, at some point you have to sort of adopt that slogan, no fear, and make a decision and do it. And what we're going to do in these videos is we're really going to lay out the nuts and bolts of how we made this happen. Because literally, you know, the biggest obstacle that people usually bring up first is, well, we don't have the money to do that. And you know, really, all 4 of the first 4 resorts that we bought, we really didn't use any of our money. And I mean, I sound like the real estate no money down guy, but that's sort of true. If you know
listen to their tapes, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and so there's ways to make that lifestyle a reality, even if you don't have a lot of resources to start with. If you have a dream and you have enough passion about it.
Just keep going. I'm gonna put another log on.
Another log on the fire. But anyway, in these videos, that's what we're going to. I mean, we're going to sort of showcase the lifestyle, but we're also going to showcase how you make a lifestyle like that really happen for you. And so, if you decide that you want to even explore the idea of a resort adventure for yourself, or a homestead adventure, or whatever it is, our kids, our daughter Adrian and her husband, they are starting up an ocean-going adventure. They're in the process of creating an adventure charter business. They have 2 boats. They've got a trawler type of a boat that's about 40 feet long, and then they've just recently purchased a 52 or 54 foot long motor yacht. Wow, you're making a lot of noise.
I'm sorry.
So, and they're pursuing their adventure, their dream of having a lifestyle of, you know, fishing and diving and snorkeling and spearfishing and lobster hunting off of the Florida Keys, and they're getting ready to open this up to private charters. And so it doesn't matter what it is. If you want a cabin in the woods, or you want a homestead on the ranch, or if you want a resort experience, or if you want a boat experience, you know, we've got some experience on how that happens, and we're going to share that on these videos. So what you need to do is, if you want to follow along with this, is subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the notification button at the bottom of the screen here, and that way you'll know when new videos come up. And we really are going to go through the whole process. We're going to show you the fun stuff. We're going to show you the headache stuff. And there's plenty of both. So you're going to get a real good picture of what it's like to start from scratch and build something up that that really is a lifestyle choice. And we haven't gone home. It's been 10 years and we're still living in our resorts. We're living in the Marina Inn right now. This is our most recent acquisition, and we've only been here for 2 months, or maybe 3, I guess now. And you know, we're just getting started here, and you will see other videos that we post out of things that we're doing there. But this whole base camp resort adventure is going to be really showcase the whole entire process, the nuts and bolts of the process, and the ups and the downs of it. Anyway, yeah. So
Cheers.
here's to having an excellent adventure,
Yes.
and may the stopping never start. We haven't gone home. It's been 10 years and we're still living in our resorts.